Hello everyone and welcome back to the Humble Eruption, this time for November 2024. Today, we have a look at both the Humble games and the Amazon games, because once again, I have found an article which tells me all about the Amazon games as well. So I'm looking forward to going through those again this month. Less Kickstarters though, because there hasn't been as many. So there's that. So the first game is Dark Tide, and it is something that's on my wish list. As far as I understand it, this is basically a Vermintide like, in that it's just based in the 40,000 universe. It's a co-op only experience, so that might be not the best choice for a humble bundle, unless you already own it, um, or your friends are all into humble as well, I suppose. So I'm not really sure. I like this as the primary one, as the headliner. But it's meant to be a good game, and I think that's important in general. So it's pretty expensive. So yeah, I wasn't going to be buying this on my own. Next game is Persona 4 Golden. This one I do own because I think it may have already been included in a bundle, or maybe it had a really good sale at some point. I forget exactly which one it is. This is a massive JRPG. It's meant to be very good. Now Persona 5 is out, so I'm surprised it wasn't actually Persona 5 included in the bundle. Because let's be honest, a lot of the times it is. But yes, either way, I'm not surprised. It feels like the Persona games and other games like Yakuza games, etc. They always seem to end up in the Humble Bundle. So okay. Now, if you like JRPGs, this is one of the better ones. I have never actually played through it myself fully, so I probably should at some point. Um, have I played through this one? Oh, I think I played through it a little bit. Yes, I played 20 hours of it. I definitely need to go back and play more. It was an interesting one. A little bit weird, wacky, but that's exactly what you want, right? Great ratings. This is a good one in general. I still wish instead of Persona 4, it was Persona 5. It was as the showcase, but here we are. Next one is Lamplighters League. Now, this one really looked, when I looked at it, I'm like, is this a co-op game? It looks like a co-op game. But no, is not another co-op game. Is a single player game. It's quite expensive. Is relatively well rated, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Basically like a bit of XCOM, a little bit of exploration. Just a nice little strategy game, like turn-based tactics. So I think this is a good one, especially given its large price. To make this bundle be nice in general, but yeah. Next is Cassette Beasts. This is a Pokemon like. There's a lot of Pokemon likes out there. I actually bought this one. I was so impressed by it. It went on sale at some point. I bought it. Looked pretty good. So in general, this is a game I was pretty excited about playing at some point. Just because it really is just a Pokemon like, and sometimes the Pokemon likes can be pretty damn good. So I think realistically, this is sort of RPG that a lot of people like, even if they're not entirely into JRPGs. So that is a great pickup as well. Next, we have the Bookwalker, the token game that I've never heard of before. We do have it. We often do have small indie games or a little bit strange games that I've never heard of before, and this is the one for this bundle. It feels like an adventure game. It's got definitely a very similar aesthetic to some others in this sort of like indie adventure space. Like even looking here, you can see like a Disco Elysium sort of vibe to it. It's not that expensive, but it is quite. It's not that expensive, but it is quite interesting. So I'd say it really does work as a humble bundle edition. So that's nice. Next is Karmazu. Now, this one is interesting to me because it is another co-op game. So if you don't own it, once again, you're sort of stuck unless you have someone else who buys Humble with you, which most people do, but not everyone does. I'm not. I don't. It's a cheap game. So technically, someone else could get it, or you could get them and say, "Hey, look, get the Humble Bundle. It's pretty good for X, Y, Z other reasons." And then you'll have someone to play with. But I don't know. I don't know. I sort of feel like Humble should not be overly based on multiplayer only, because there's a lot of things that there's a lot of times you just don't want to have to play something multiplayer. But that's just me. Second last, we have Hexarchy. 4X Deck Builder. This one's interesting to me because it's actually published by the Yogscast. And I do wonder if this is a game which might be given out in the Jingle Jam this year. Because obviously next month is when the Jingle Jam will most likely occur, like it has every single month, every single year. Assuming it does. It does feel like this game published by them might be something to upload. Either way, I always like a deck builder. Humble always likes a deck builder. Like, seriously, if you get Humble, you will have so many deck builders. They always release at least one roguelike deck builder every single bloody month, it seems. So, yes, this is the token deck builder, and it was on my wish list, so it's a good pickup for me. But we'll see what you think. And finally, we have Garden Life. Probably a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting something like this to be added. Like, they do often have, quote-unquote, life sims. Now, this is more of a gardening sim, which is still similar, I suppose. It's very charming. I had it on my wish list as well, and I hadn't considered buying it yet. So, once again, another great pickup. It just looks cozy, right? It just looks really cozy. Not the highest ratings of the bundle, but still nothing to scoff at. So overall, that is the bundle for this month, and I'd say there's a few heavy hitters if you don't own them. Like Persona 4 Golden, fantastic heavy hitter right there. You know, Cassette Beast, brilliant, right? And then there's a couple of surprises, like Garden Life and Bookwalker. But overall, I'd say this is an okay bundle. I personally do wish that there were more games in here. Like there weren't as many games I already own, but that's a me problem. I own a lot of games. It's very rare this happens. But yes. So yeah, what do you think of the Humble Games? It seems like a good idea, really. Now, next set is obviously the Amazon Prime games. Now, the Amazon Prime games have been coming out, and obviously last month we didn't really have a good idea of what was there. So, if you did not check out Prime outside of any links that were sent out in general, I did also send out reminder links when the days were. There are a bunch of different things which were given out over this last month. Highlights, of course, being things like Koromon. That is another Pokemon-like. You know, everyone loves Bioshock Remastered if you don't already have it. You know, there's a bunch of random things here. I don't think it was necessarily the strongest month. So I guess it doesn't really matter that it was not leaked. But still, this month, we have something else though. This month, they've already added Guardians of the Galaxy and Mafia. This came after my post last week and was basically added as a surprise on the 1st, which is good, right? It was out on the 1st of November. Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy Epic, and Mafia Definitive Edition GOG. So the good things about that are obviously, well, they're great games, right? Like, Mafia is I love it. I love everything about its storyline. I love the characters, and like the Definitive Edition. When I played it, I really enjoyed it. It really captured exactly what I loved about Mafia. So, brilliant pickup for free, especially for a GOG key, because people don't seem to remember. GOG is one of the few platforms which you can actually leave in your will to someone, because GOG actually will allow you to pass on your games to your next of kin. So so basically it's like, oh yes, all these games you can eventually pass down when you die, which may seem a little bit weird, but you know, I'm happy for the option. The other one is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, if you haven't played this game, you have been missing out. This is basically like playing a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like, it's not the same. It is not the same as the Marvel movies, obviously. And it's not exactly the same as comic books either. However, what it does do is a world-spanning sort of a space, right? Where you go from planet to planet to planet. You feel like you are a hero. It does a really good job of creating that world, and I can recommend it. 100%. So this game right here, Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely worth a pick up. Definitely worth a play if you haven't already. But let's look at what else is coming out. First of all, on November 7th, 2024, we have... Oh, wait, that's the first one. Let me go first those ones. We have Dishonored Definitive Edition. Now, Dishonored, if anyone hasn't played Dishonored, I'd be kind of shocked. It's also been given out heavily in bundles and other things over time, especially on Fanatical. So you probably know what Dishonored is, and you've probably played Dishonored. Dishonored is basically a modern revival of something like Thief, right? It's not quite as focused on being in the dark, but it is a fantastic game where you can sneak, you can do stealth kills, but it's got some really interesting things to it. Like, for example, there is a plague in the Dishonored world where if you leave a corpse or even a someone who is let's say less than awake right now, right, and you leave them on the streets just normally, they will get eaten by rats, and that will count as you killing them. So it's almost like Hitman in the fact that you need to hide the corpses, but unlike Hitman, it's you need to hide the corpses or you're going to get a worse ending because you're not doing as well. Like, you have to cover your tracks in Dishonored, and there are multiple different pathways. This is one of those games which definitely earned its overwhelmingly positive rating, and to be given out GOG code for it, beautiful. Love it. Love it. The next game on November 7th is going to be Duck Paradox. Never heard of it before, but it has ducks, roguelike, and they're the two words I need. It's got ducks, it's got roguelike. I'm in. Yeah, give me. This is another GOG code, once again given out on the 7th. Next, we have Close to the Sun. I did play this a little bit and found it scary as fuck. So I really didn't have a great time here. If you see my video of it, you'll see nope was my response to a lot of this. It is a horror game. It doesn't have what as saying it says walking simulator. I don't think it has any direct like it does have a couple of times where it's like pushes up in front of you. So I don't know. Technically I would cast it as a horror game, and thus I would probably avoid it personally. That being said, if you're not as much of a wimp as I am, Close to the Sun is a beautiful game. It has been well made for the most part, and it's sort of like gives you a BioWare-esque world with less of the gameplay. So, take that as you will. This will be a GOG code as well. So once again, brilliant to give away to someone else as well, or just keep on your profile. Next one is one of the weird ones. Now, Amazon is good for weird ones. Ones you wouldn't buy, ones you wouldn't expect, ones that's popping up. Sometimes I can't even find a Steam page for some of the games that Amazon gives out. But this time I did. This time we have Disney Pixar Cars, which looks quite old at this point, which, to be fair, okay, Cars is quite old. This is a game. Yep, it is a game, and it's going to be on the Amazon Games app. The Amazon Games app is obviously an app for Amazon. It basically, once you claim the game, they don't go away, but you need to install them through Amazon. You often find in my amount of shame, I'll say, hey, this is one I had on Amazon, which you might have it too. Recently, they've been putting all their heavy hitters as GOG and Epic codes, but the weird games, they generally lead to this. So this will be another game released on November 7th. Then we have Snakebird. I played this. It was charming as hell. Wait, did I play it? I think I did. No. I forget now. But point is, I saw it and I thought it was charming as hell. You play as a snake who is also a bird. It's a puzzle game. I suck at it. Just by default, it's a puzzle game. But it's cute. It's great. Unfortunately, it is it is actually an Epic Games Store one, so that's not too bad. The last one, which I almost missed, was Bang Bang Racing. Yeah, it's like this would be a perfect game just to give to kids, I guess. Right? It's got local multiplayer. It's just an arcadey game. It's a racing game. It's a little booming and bashing. Yeah, it is what it is. Is it a good pickup? I mean, anything is really. Amazon, your Prime, you're probably paying more for the shipping than anything else. But from a game perspective, yeah, yeah. Next is on November 7th, November 14th, sorry. And it is going to be Mrs. Holmes and the Case of the Dancing Man Collector's Edition. This is one of those point and click hidden object games. They give them out quite relatively regularly. These are almost always either on the Amazon Games app or the other weird one that requires you to have a third party app that's like nothing but these games. Meh is my answer. Next is Chasm the Rift, and this is a very old school looking game. But yeah, really nice, really nice. It's prepared for terror and groundbreaking classic old school FPS, and it looks really interesting. I always love these sort of old school FPSs, the sort of fast paced shooter type things. And even though I don't go out of my way to pass them, I do appreciate what they do and the fact they exist. So yeah. Look at this. The original Chasm Rift version is powered by DOSBox and includes a bonus. It's a game released in 1997. Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's good. Next game for November 14th is House of Golf 2. Oh yeah, that's got some pretty nice little sets, right? House of Golf 2. So it looks like it's a mini golf game. It looks like it's a mini golf game. Huh. This is an Epic Games Store code, but it sounds like these. I wish they gave out GOG game codes for multiplayer, because then at least you could be like, "Yo, I'm lending you my game," and actually play it with someone else. But I hope other people, if they have Prime, they also claim it, because this actually looks really lovely, really charming. So I really think this is not a bad little addition here. I find some of these golf games to be quite charming. Next one is Tomb Raider Anniversary, also released on the 14th as a GOG code. They've been giving out a lot of Tomb Raider games recently, so it's not a surprise to see another one in this bundle, in this set. There's not really much you could say about Tomb Raider, because it's the sort of thing which has already been like done to death. Everyone's played it except for me. I haven't played very many of them, so realistically, I'm probably the worst person to talk about. Because realistically, these sort of action adventure games I'm always sucky at, but I have some friends who really love them. So there's that. Next, on the 14th, we have Blade of Darkness. This is another game released on GOG, as you can probably see by the age of it. Another classic looking, it says Souls-like, but when this was released, it wouldn't have been bloody Souls RPG. So realistically, I don't know if you can class this as a Souls-like, given that Dark Souls came out after. I think there's RPG games and games in general just used to be harder back then, but yeah. But that's the last game for the 14th. Probably a little bit less exciting than the previous time. Like, I think that Dishonored and a few of the other games there are pretty nice. Then we have on the 21st, we have the following games. First, we have Max the Curse of Brotherhood, a cinematic adventure filled with platforming and magic and creativity. Okay, fair. I'm going to suck at it, but it is quite nice. This is another game released in Amazon Game Code, so it's one of the weird ones, TM, which is okay. I think it's pretty cool. It's a $21 game on Steam, as you can see, so not something you necessarily would have just bought by accident, but still pretty nice. Next game for the 21st is Overcooked Gourmet Edition, specifically. This will be a GOG code as well. This is a good one because it is multiplayer and it is on GOG, so, that helps, right? That quite helps. So, yes. Next one is the Super Meat Boy Epic Games Store Epic Games Store code for Super Meat Boy. This is one of the original precision platformers. I say original because even though there were a lot of hard platformers before, Super Meat Boy definitely made it so that, yeah, it made the precisioning, the absolute like speed and like chaos of those sorts of things. We had to go exactly the right jump, exactly the right time. It was probably the game that made it popular. And so fuck. I think I already own it, so it's not like it's like on my mount now and it wasn't before, but not really a massive fan of Super Meat Boy personally. Next one is Moon Scars. I did play this one as a video if you want to go back and watch it. But yes, certainly is worth your time, I believe. Um, it is a fairly nice looking game. It's a pretty game. If you like these sort of Metroidvania Souls likes, you'll be right at home. And this is obviously GOG code. Now, last one, also a GOG code, is Riot Civil Arrest, which it's got mixed reviews at the moment, but I always thought it looked interesting. TM. So realistically, I'm surprised it's not an Amazon Games one. It's actually been given out as a proper key because it is a little bit weird. It's a little bit different. But yeah, it's free. So I guess realistically, you can look past the ratings unless it's like it destroyed my computer. Yeah, saying not worth the price. Yeah, just people say it's probably not worth the price. Well, the price is free, so enjoy. The last set of games is on November 27th, and they include Elite Dangerous, which is an Epic Games code store. I should say, I do have friends who love Elite Dangerous. It does have an expansion pack, but apart from that, it's received a lot of patches over the years. I have yet to play it, surprisingly. I've heard it's a quite difficult to get used to all the systems, and it's very much a spreadsheet game. The sort of game that once you play it, you'll play it for thousands of hours. Which means for a free game on Prime, even if it is quite old and has been given out in bundles before, it's not a bad pickup. So that's good too. The next game for the 27th of November is Sir Whoopass Mortal Death. Okay. It's a GOG code, so at least if you do not have friends to play it, you can make that work. But yeah, fair enough, I suppose. Fair enough. There's not much I can really say here. Then you have Jurassic World Evolution, which is apparently one of the better ones. Between the first and second game, apparently the first one is better. Based on what people say, and I'm not sure exactly why they say that. Since I've played the second one. I think, touched the first one a little bit. However, where it falls down a little bit is this is an Epic Games one. And they did just release a pretty massive bundle of Jurassic World Evolution on Humble for Steam. So chances are, if you wanted this game, you already got it. Like, this is not going to be a massive pickup for you. And if you don't have this game, you'll just be sad you missed. If you like it, you'll be just sad you missed the bundle full of DLC. They are not giving you the premium edition. They're not giving you the deluxe edition. They're just giving you the base game, which in a game that has this many like $100 extra DLC, not sure if that's really the best going. But anyway. Second last, on the 27th, we have a Mystery Case Files game. Yet another hidden object point and click puzzle adventure. So there we go. And the last one is a GOG code for something called Shogun Showdown, which has all the right things. There's replay value, strategy RPG, turn-based. It's a roguelike deck builder. You can't get enough of those. So here we are for another one. This one's on GOG, and quite frankly, it looks incredibly charming. So I think that's a fairly good one. Anyway, point is, that has been the humble choice for this month, and I hope you enjoy it. Also, if you're living in America, just want to say, don't forget to vote. A lot of people don't seem to realize just how important it is. As an Australian, I have to vote, and I have to make a specific. I had to make a specific choice if I was ever to give a donkey's vote, which is when you just scribble over the ballot paper and throw it in, and you don't actually have a proper ballot. That's a choice. It's not a good choice either. Remember that when you're living in a world where you do not have ranked choice, preferential voting, you don't have compulsory voting, it is in their interests to keep you from going to the polls. If you go to the polls, even if you don't want to, and you vote, you have your voice known, That's important. Okay. So make sure you do that if you get a chance. I will also say in general, third party candidates have no chance. There's no way that Trump or Kamala aren't going to get enough votes to make the thing. So to say, oh yes, but there's actually 7 candidates. Like, no. In an election where you can't do ranked choice voting, there's 2. And any vote for someone who is not your preferred least bad is a vote for the one you don't like. So keep that in mind. So don't throw your vote away on a third party. It doesn't help in America. What you should do, in my personal opinion, is vote who you want to, obviously, but vote for whoever you think is more likely to introduce ranked choice voting. I would vote in general, even though I didn't want to, for whoever was the lesser evil, so that I could get my so I could get that lesser evil. But then I would still push for ranked choice voting, preferential voting as a change, which is happening in some states over there. So that's good. If you finally get ranked choice voting, then your third party vote might matter. There's too much on the line at the moment. So please, if you haven't already, consider going out there, giving a vote, making your voice known, and don't squander what is basically democracy, what people have fought and died for in your country. Goodbye, and I hope you enjoy the games. Please leave a comment down in the description down below with what you think about the Humble Bundle and Amazon Prime Bundle choices for this month. Personally, Humble, okay, it's pretty good, Would have liked if it was less duplicates for me personally, but I don't think it was duplicates caused by like being given out multiple bundles or anything. Amazon, some of those days are pretty good, and they have some things I haven't seen before. They have a bunch of GOG and Epic codes, so obviously GOG is better than Epic, but still, it's nice to have the actual codes rather than just Amazon, because you never know when Jeff Bezos will just turn around and say, well, this isn't profitable anymore. Anyway, see you next time. Have a lovely rest of your month. I'll see you next month. Well, hopefully I'll see you before then for another Eruption of Shame. Actually, I will. I'll see you a couple of times, actually, in general, because I'm guessing when we get time, when it comes November, the next Eruption will probably be the Jingle Jam. And then we'll see another Humble choice after that. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.